This is not how I expected this vlog to end up. This DEF issue is something that happens on Sprinter vans, Kenworths, Peterbilts, everything. It's a well-known issue. This is literally like driving a Rolls Royce. I think they might be cutting me off at 500 at this pump here. I was not expecting to turn this into a Prevost versus Newell video. I don't know how we pulled this off, but the Motor Coach store is gonna let me drive this 2022 mid-entry Newell coach all the way to Harside Grove in Petoskey, Michigan. And this coach new was about $2.5 million. It's a perfect opportunity to take you guys on a little road trip. This is what the coach looks like with the slide rooms in. This is Newell Coach 1730. And when this coach was brand new, I titled the video that I made at the Newell Coach factory, the nicest 2022 RV interior. You could see those underlit countertops, just incredible how much detail it is. This coach does have a 200-gallon diesel fuel tank. This coach is currently available, priced to sell for $1,555,555. Got about a half a tank of fuel here. So right now it is 3:42 p.m. in Bradenton, Florida. I'm gonna go to my house, grab a few things and get cleaned up before I head out. But I'm excited to be taking you guys along on this journey. So let's see what kind of fun we can find. This is literally like driving a Rolls Royce. I've only been behind the wheel for a few minutes, but this is incredible. I stopped at my house. I'm gonna just plug the coach into 50 amp. One of the cool things about the Newell coaches is we can kill the generator from outside here. So the ACs are off now. Press that button. And then I've got this switch to bring out the power 50 amp here. We want to keep that plugged in so all of that equipment, air compressors, all of that can run. But I'm going to come out here real early tomorrow morning, get an early start to the day, try to put down as many miles as possible. And this coach is so beautiful that I just want to jump in and start rolling. But it still is raining right now, so I'm going to get some rest. But I am looking forward to getting up to Harside Grove. The weather is beautiful this time of year. So we're going to shoot for a 4 a.m. go time tomorrow morning and see how quickly we can get up there. It's go time. It is 3:50 a.m. and I'm ready for this journey. I just got a good night's rest here to make sure I'm prepared to drive this. The first stop is going to be a Love's truck stop here. We're outside of Ocala, Florida, and this is a good opportunity to use the cameras that we always talk about with the left side fuel door. The fuel tank on the Newell coach is in the middle of the coach, so makes it a little bit harder to line up, but with this fuel door camera should be easy. About 5:30 a.m. right now, right above a quarter of a tank, so I'm thinking I'm gonna put maybe 125 gallons in. And that's one of the big advantages of a Newell coach is the 200-gallon diesel fuel tank. So once we fill this up, I'm gonna try to roll as far as possible without stopping. This camera is definitely coming in handy. I can imagine how that could be a little tricky, but boom, there it is. That's a nice looking stainless tank there, all lit up nicely. We're gonna get both sides going here to try to fill it up as quickly as possible. All right, I'm liking that double fill. That's super convenient. Nice little rest stop here in Georgia. Now, I appreciate the opportunity to drive this coach, but when it's time to take a restroom break, out of respect of the future owners of this coach, I'm gonna use the restrooms here. Not gonna stay in the coach, but we've still got about 1,200 miles to get to Harside Grove, so let's keep it rolling. I love how when I put it into drive, the steering wheel automatically swivels down, making it very easy to get in and out of this coach. So we're currently at about 3/4 of a tank of diesel fuel. I filled up one time. Navigation is saying we've got a little over 1,200 miles. The braking, the steering, all of the different drivability features of this Newell coach do not cease to amaze me. Got the DEF low light, so we're gonna stop at this little gas and go. While we're here, we'll get some diesel fuel. Now, talking about DEF, I know a lot of you are not a fan of the government regulation. And on that note, it is an election season, and I know a lot of us can get really involved in the election, the politics, and what I've found in my personal life is the less time that I spend thinking about politics and thinking about elections, and the more time I spend on doing cool stuff like this, you know, jumping in this motorhome and getting out, traveling, seeing the country, meeting people. That's what makes me happy. Watching the news and watching politics does nothing for me. So as much as I don't like DEF, I really don't like watching the news. And I think going into the election season, if you guys are watching it and you start to get irritated, just come back over to RVing with Andrew Steele and we'll try to keep you entertained. We got a lot of good stuff going on, but we got to keep trekking to Michigan here. All right, quick little $111 just to top off, and we will keep rolling. So this is the real part of motor coach ownership. Doesn't matter if you're in a new $2 million coach. I just went into limp mode, so I am now stranded. We're not too far from Rome, Georgia. So I was driving and I started to get a low DEF light on, even though I just topped off the DEF. But this is part of coach ownership. But the nice thing about this is I've got like basically like a palace here to chill out in. I just called Newell. They're gonna call me right back to do a hard reset. I don't think that's gonna fix this DEF issue. And this is not a Newell only issue. This is anything with diesel. And when stuff like this happens, it's really important to remember the words of wisdom from my good buddy Bradley Twait. Own the coach, don't let the coach own you. This is definitely not how I expected this journey to go, but got to play the hand I'm dealt. And if this is the biggest problem I got, I'm doing really good. Let's see how this all turns out. So I relocated to another gas station. The coach is definitely in full limp mode, so I'm not able to go over like 5 to 7 miles an hour. I don't know, maybe a quick nap if they haven't gotten here yet. Then I'll go over to Cracker Barrel and maybe hit a workout sometime here. All right, so I told you guys I'd work out, so I'll give you guys some proof. I did go to a boarding military school in high school, so I've done a couple push-ups in my day. All right, there's a quick 20 to warm up. I think we may be getting a Prevost Featherlight here very shortly. This gentleman's gonna go ahead and throw this coach on the tow truck here. Huge shout out to all the tow truck drivers out here helping RVers when they get in a tough situation. This is a real machine right here. I don't know how I got so lucky. We're gonna make the rest of the trip in this Featherlight. Russ is gonna handle the Newell. He's confident that he's gonna beat me to Michigan in the Newells. This DEF issue, this is something that happens on Sprinter vans, Kenworths, Peterbilts, everything. It's a well-known issue, anything with DEF. With these DEF coaches, it's not if, it's when. And I'm much more happy that this happened to me rather than someone just buying that coach. So gonna get that issue fixed, and now it's time to beeline up to Michigan. This is a sick Featherlight. We've got the lights turned off right now, but this will be a cool opportunity to kind of compare the drivability of these two coaches. This coach is available for $1,399,999, and then that other Newell is $1.5555. We've got almost a full tank of fuel, so big thanks to Russ, the driver for the Motor Coach store, for fueling this coach up. This is really incredible, and this is a testament for the amount of resources that the Motor Coach store has. I've seen a lot of different situations where Brad really steps up. These coaches are going to the same place, so we're all working together as a team. At the end of this vlog, I want to really give you my Newell versus Prevost comparison. I've had more and more time to really feel both coaches, and you know, it's kind of a Bentley versus Rolls-Royce, but we're gonna have to throw the whole fuel pricing thing out the door because now we're in different coaches. But we still have like 900 miles more to go. I only went like 500 to 1400 miles, so we're not even halfway there yet. It's been exciting, but out of the respect for the future owners of this coach, I don't want to sleep in their bed. I mean, this is a multi-million-dollar coach, so we want to show them the utmost respect. And I'll find a hotel somewhere to crash out. Heading through Tennessee right now, 800 or 900 miles to go to Harside Grove. One of of the things I noticed about the Prevost is it has a governor at 75 miles an hour. So as soon as I hit 75, I can't get any more power band, where that Newell got up and went with that Cummins 605. This has 515 horsepower. Now the Newell is a little bit heavier. I think the Newell's closer to 60,000 plus pounds. I think the gross vehicle weight on this Prevost is right around 54,000 pounds. Going up the mountains, I feel like the Prevost is struggling a little bit more, but having the governor at 75 I think is good, because there was a couple times where that Newell was driving so smoothly that I started to drive a little too fast. And in a machine this heavy, this isn't a race car. I don't think there's any reason to drive really over 75 miles an hour. I can get this up to about 80 if I'm going downhill, about 700 miles away from Petoskey, Michigan. So we're gonna learn all kinds of differences here in the next few miles. All right, guys, I was not expecting to turn this into a Prevost versus Newell video. I like the height of this diesel fuel fill versus the Newell going into the bay door. This was locked, so I had to grab these keys. I prefer just hitting one lock button for all the basement doors on the Newell, so I could, unlock the Newell. Now, the one big advantage the Newell has is the camera that lines up with the fuel tank. I don't think the Prevosts have that camera. And because the fuel tank is kind of in the middle of the coach here, it's a little bit harder to line up than the Newell. I prefer just the ergonomics and the user friendliness of the Newell. Very large, easy to read buttons, very well illuminated at night. The stereo was kicking. Overall drivability, I think the Prevost is just a little bit smoother. I like being a little bit lower to the ground. Now, one other thing is, the Prevost is gonna have the 2 windshields. So this is gonna be less expensive to fix. And then they say they call these deer catchers. These are gonna be a little bit taller windshields, but the Newell is gonna have the large one-piece windshield, which is gonna give you probably a little more viewing. Now, the Prevost dash is a little more simple, a little more analog, and I'm pretty familiar with it. I do like the dash AC in the Newell a little bit better. I think it's just a little easier to control. It wasn't quite as loud when I turned it all the way up as the Prevost Air. Now, fuel mileage, I think the Newell had a little more power. Neither of these are race cars. I've been hanging with these truckers all day, and I'm lucky to keep up with them, and they both slurp fuel like crazy. I mean, this is just insanity, the amount of money we're spending on diesel fuel. This level, if you're dropping 7 figures on a coach, you're probably not concerned with the fuel cost. That's gonna be the least of your worries. But I know a lot of people that get to that point, they're very frugal and they watch every penny. So less horsepower and a lighter coach. The Prevost probably getting a little better fuel mileage. I think this coach had a little over a half of a tank. They're both gonna have right around 200-gallon diesel fuel tanks, but I think they might be cutting me off at 500 at this pump here. I think we're over $1,000 total between the Newell and the Prevost, but I don't even remember how much fuel was in that coach when we left it. And a shout out to all the truck drivers like my buddy Amarjeet here. Appreciate all your work, sir. Nice to meet you. So I got into Lexington, Kentucky late last night. It is about 6:12 a.m. It is time to rock and roll up to Hearthside Grove. So we've got about a just under 9-hour journey up there. So those of you that are wondering, I did park the coach at a Cracker Barrel last night here. I didn't stay inside the coach. I stayed at a hotel next door, but a lot of Cracker Barrels do have RV parking. All right, guys, so we're passing Jackson Center, Ohio, where the Airstream factory is, and very refreshing up here in the Midwest, kind of farmland. We're about 2.5 hours from Hearthside Grove, but as we started to get into northern Michigan here, I'm getting really excited to see Hearthside Grove. Looking forward to rolling through that front gate. I filmed a video there a few years ago and called it the most beautiful RV resort in America. About an hour away from Hearthside Grove, and I'm gonna stop at this rest area for a few minutes. Got pretty dirty on the run up here. I think Brad's got some detailers. And what a beautiful bus, especially for $1.4 million. It's incredible, you know, how much machine you can get. So we just got off the interstate. Absolutely beautiful out here in northern Michigan. We're about 30 minutes away from Hearthside Grove. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, Hearthside Grove. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you. So the motor coach store does not mess around. I just hopped out of this coach like a minute ago. The guys from Superior Coach Cleaning are already getting these coaches detailed up here. They're the on-site detail company here at Hearthside. Brad's got some incredible coaches out here. This is a rare opportunity, a Liberty coach. I don't know much about this, but this is Brad's coach. It is available. This 13 Millennium is amazing. And keep an eye out for the videos with Nelson Figueroa and the team at Millennium Luxury Coaches coming soon. An incredible operation. This 13 is a heck of a buy. This triple slide with the 2 front slides is available for $799,999. And I think we found the man himself at work. Busy writing some text messages, emails. How you doing, sir?
I am, Andrew. Busy day, so.
You selling some coaches?
We'll hope so. We brought some good ones up here to Hearthside Grove and Petoskey.
Now this is something we don't normally see here. That's an incredible coach.
Oh man, this is a special one. We just took this in on a 22 marathon. This is a 2017 Liberty triple slide, mid-bath, 2 slides in the rear, 50,000 miles on it, Andrew. $1,399,999.
That's a record that I've ever seen. Dean Lauk's paint job.
It's special. Beautiful interior on this one too. We brought also the 2013 Millennium. This has triple slide, bath and a half, 2 slides in the front, right around 100,000 miles on it. $799,999. 20 Featherlight, quad slide, bath and a half with the new interior in it for $1,399,999.
It's an incredible coach. Now, I started the journey in the 22 Newell. You gave me the best of the best, but what happened to the 22 Newell?
Well, you know what happened. So our federal government DEF head issues strike again. The DEF system pump went out on you. Took a nice tow truck ride to Chattanooga, and then we had another driver coming through there and swapped out. He's fixed and on the road, and he'll be here about 1 o'clock this morning.
A lot of people are wondering, is that a Newell specific problem, or?
It's not a big deal out there that a lot of people make it out to be, but will you have an issue? Yes. Is it typically a plug and play issue? Yes.
We're gonna do a full walk on the Liberty. These coaches see everything going on here.
Noticed a bunch of Prevos pull in here over this last week, and I scratched my head for a minute and figured it out. A lot of you guys that are here in your Prevos are heading up to Quebec for the 100th birthday of Prevo, so great time to swap out a coach and keep on going on your journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks again for the opportunity to compare these 2 coaches. Now, on that note, Prevo versus Newell. You've owned both. You've been doing this for almost 20 years now. Your biggest differences off the top of your head between a Prevo and Newell, what are they?
It's to each his own. You know, this whole Prevo-Newell debate. With the Prevo, you've got a really tight shell that they convert. You don't have the horsepower that a Newell has. Your headroom differences from coach to coach, but it really comes down to Rolls-Royce, Bentley, if you will. You can't go wrong with either one of them.
If people want to buy one of these coaches, who should they give a call?
They can reach out to the main number, or they can reach out to me.
We'll leave that in the description below. Thank you again, sir.
Thank you.